What's up there, guys? I am Nick. Welcome back to the Weeb Lounge, and in this character spotlight, we're taking a look at the Edo/Nurse edition of Mitsuki. A version of Mitsuki that's actually not crap like her last one. I'm sorry, but this character does not get much praise, and she still kind of doesn't, but maybe she get a little bit. Now, when this Mitsuki came out, a lot of people were like, ooh, Mitsuki, Pecos, Nurse, yes. Then I saw the big needle, and I was like, maybe not. I don't know about this. A lot of people are going to run scared from her with or without that needle. Now, you know, on Global, I always talk crap about Mitsuki because her little AoE thing that she puts out for physical defense down never gets the targets that I want to do, and then I combine her with Reno and the group they're supposed to work out, and it never works out because timing is stupid. Whatever, maybe it's just my luck. I don't know, but I have to say I didn't have much hope for this character, okay, going in, because Mitsuki. And here's a little tidbit for you guys, all right? Whenever you want to gauge the popularity of any kind of waifu, anime character, anything, do a search online and look for fan art. Fan art. What you guys know what I'm getting at, okay? And it's actually really difficult to find anything on this character. Really, really hard. That kind of tells you that her popularity is, but okay, that's just a little bit of insight there. I mean, a lot of people can kind of deduct that, but just throwing that out. Let's go ahead and get to the skills on this character. Let's see. Skill number 1, the Rose Chart. It is a single target physical damage attack on the character with the lowest percentage of hit points. Not necessarily the lowest hit points, but the lowest percentage, which generally means she might end up going after tanks a little bit more or so. Not sure about that, but anyways, it will also reduce their physical and magic defense with an additional short stun. Now the stun I like. Honestly, I do like because the stun targets initially right off the bat will target the 4th character back. Okay, if all the enemy team is fully healed, and we're talking arena, of course. If everyone's full health, she by default hits the 4th back, which means she kind of acts as a Yori counter, stuns her right off the bat, so she can't go lightning striking the world, at least for a bit. And plus, the debuff can help. It's not insignificant, but it's not the best in the world. Skill number 2, Apoptosis Enhancer. I have no idea what apoptosis is. It's probably some medical term that I just do not have any clue about. It places a curse on all frontline enemies and slightly reduces both their physical and magic defense. Now, the reductions here combined with the other skill kind of adds up to a decent amount. All right. And as long as she can just kind of keep firing off, of course, they stack, she can end up being fairly useful in getting defenses down. But in the grand scheme of things, especially at the current levels and everything on JP, this, I would have to say, combined slightly below average, which is why you don't necessarily bring her in for these debuffs. It's for the stun and for her curse, surprisingly. Okay, now the curse that she applies ticks for nothing. Now in this skill, it's like 752 damage, a tick for 12 seconds or something like that. Who cares? I mean, seriously, who cares? It doesn't. It's very minimal damage, right? I'll address that in a second. EX skill increases physical attack power at 5 stars. It will greatly increase her physical attack power. Now her Union Burst. The Rose Destruction. It is an AoE physical damage to all enemies in front of her. So generally it's going to hit everything. If enemies already happen to be cursed, it makes them even more cursed. It's cursey or curses? Cursed. That is a stupid terminology. It's a more worse curse. More worse curse. Okay, now this thing, let me get to that in a second. It makes it more worse cursed. If they're not cursed, then it applies her normal curse, like from the other skill, right? Okay, the more cursed curses actually increases damage by 30% every tick for 12 seconds. So it takes that 700, whatever it is, and then it'll tick a little higher the next one. Then it'll tick a little higher, a little higher, a little higher. And I think it can cap out at like 2,000 something. I'd probably a little more than that. It really all depends. I believe it scales with physical attack power. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I think it does. Okay, I'm just going to throw it out there. I think it does because I've seen it tick for higher than what the guide thing that I look at does. So there's a hint there. Okay, what ends up happening is, like, if you're in a fight and you have her in the group along with, you know, some proper defenses and everything, she's kind of like a stall nullifier. Okay, let me try to explain it. It's like you create a group that's kind of based on stalling, because she gets off by the time she gets off the first one of these, it doesn't do that much. It'll do some damage, it'll put some stuff on, but it doesn't seem to kind of do much. But by the time she gets the next one off, it seems like those ticks hit a little harder, probably because of other buffs and everything starting to ramp up. And I have actually sat there in the arena a few times and I've just watched the enemy tick die away. And it was a couple of fights that I fully expected to lose. I expected to get wiped out, destroyed. I was expecting nothing. And here Mitsuki comes out with this big old thing and wins it. She's rated double S tier in the arena for a reason. And as soon as I can perfect using her, it could be very, very useful. Let's go ahead and throw her into a fight here. Let's see. I already set one up. Why I farm some of these, I have no idea anymore. It's double drop, so I figured I'd grab something. Alright, let's slow her down a bit. Now, yeah, overall, I do kind of like this character. The aesthetics, I guess, are kind of neat. I like it. This is a stupid little chart thing, and then she blows things up, whatever. Why do curses always involve, like, thorny bushes? You guys ever notice that? Is there going to be a thorny bush on this one, too? Or just a big rose? Yeah, it's just a big rose, whatever it was. So there's a thorny bush. Okay, whatever. So this character is pretty much PvP only. She's rated, I believe, S in just PvE. But I haven't noticed that great of a use for her. Maybe there's a few fights and everything where she could be just like incredibly useful. But I have not really experienced that yet. And her AoE doesn't really do that much damage. And the curse itself, in the arena, can end up helping an awful lot. Especially when it ramps up or does what it's got to do. But overall, not so much. Really not so much. Ooh, I got some Shiori. So, in other words, it's a decent arena character to have, but you can kind of live without her, I guess. Like, share, subscribe, hit that notification button, guys. I mean, that pretty much sums it up. It's an arena character that it's nice to have. You can form more, better, weirder groups using her. Weirder groups is pretty much the idea. What the heck do I have set up for my group with Mitsuki, is it? And it was like a surprising win. This. Somehow I won with that. Multiple times. It's not consistent at all, but I did. I ain't going to try it right now because I know damn well fighting this one I'm going to fail because of that stun. So, you know, there's that. But it gave me a few wins that I was completely surprised that I would get. And there was one stall group that I fought where I pretty much didn't expect to do the amount of damage that I needed to do to kind of get through them. But since everything was tick damaging like mad for a little while there, I actually was able to penetrate through the stall group and won. I was very shocked. So in other words, I've got a little bit more work to do with Mitsuki here to try to figure out exactly what in the arena she's going to be able to help me out with. She's helping out a little bit, but like I mentioned, she's not a necessity. It's one of these characters where you get to experiment. If you have her and Summer Chica and you slap them two together and just probably good for it's probably good to create a stall group with her giving some of the little bit of offense that you need to win. A stall group that actually fights and wins. That sounds pretty horrific to encounter, don't it? A stall group that can actually do damage and win. Whatever. We'll see you in the next video.